Well, hey there, it's Leslie, and I have another card for you for our August 4-card class. So you're going to have a packet that looks like this. If you received it in the mail, it's probably already folded for you because of the way it fits in the envelope. All right, so what we have is a piece of Misty Moonlight cardstock. Your card base is the fresh Freesia, and the Misty Moonlight can go right on the card front. Okay. Then we're going to use that same Misty Moonlight ink, and we're going to use the watercolor shapes to do a nice big circle. All right. And so you're going to be stamping on watercolor paper. Now, watercolor, this, I will be perfectly honest with you, this is not the watercolor paper you get from Stampin' Up. Their watercolor paper does not lend itself to class prep very easily. You don't get as many card front size pieces as I would like, and it just, watercolor paper is, I guess you can't exactly say watercolor paper is watercolor paper, but as long as you have a nice cold press paper and it's not super textury, it's going to have some texture to it, but as long as you're comfortable using it, you're good. So we'll take that big circle, we'll ink it up in the Misty Moonlight. Okay, now please notice that this is one of those distinctive stamp sets, and it is meant to have some texture to it. Okay, that center part of the circle is not going to stamp as deeply as some of the edges. All right, that's just how it's designed. But what you're going to want to do is take a water brush or a mister or something and add some water to where you're going. Doesn't have to be super wet, but you do want some water where you're going to stamp that. Okay, so let me just go back again just to make sure it's wet. And I'm gonna choose right up here like that. Now give it a second, give it some good pressure, and then let the water interact with that stamp and that ink, okay? So that you get that. So it is softer, and you can see it bleeding out at the edge. That's a good thing, okay? Especially for this card. Now you may want to hold it over your hand if you're using one of our water painters or something. Get some water coming down there, okay? Then you're just gonna go across there a little bit. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of let it go a little bit like that. All right, you should probably keep a paper towel or something handy so you can clean your water brush, because it will pick up some ink. Okay. So you want to kind of clean that off before you put it away. All right. Then we're going to leave that out, and we're going to use this Through Struggle Comes Strength from the Strong of Heart. Now this is the Make a Difference stamp set right now. It's in the mini, and $3 from every stamp set sold is going to be donated towards heart health. I'm not exactly sure which organization they've chosen. It could be the American Heart Association. It could be, you know, something else. I'm not exactly sure. But I do know that $3 from the sale of each of these stamp sets will go to heart health. So we're just going to ink that up in the Misty Moonlight. I'm going to deliberately go where there's a little bit of background, but not so much that it bleeds too much, but I like that look. Okay. All right, then also in your envelope, I put mine aside before I emptied everything. You should have, you may have one big swallowtail butterfly. I was using up some scraps and I cut a couple of smaller ones for myself. Okay, now they can overhang here because remember you've got a little bit of room. So if you want your butterflies to be kind of out to the edge, just kind of dry fit it and make sure you're not up over the edge of the card. That's the only thing you want to make sure you're not up over the edge of the card. Okay. Now I cut these out of the In Color Shimmery Vellum. So you don't even have to add Wink of Stella because they already have that shimmer to them. And I find the easiest way to attach them is a couple of glue dots right along the body. And they don't show terribly bad. All right, so just pick up this one and kind of fold it longer and skinnier and put it right along the body of the smaller one right in there. Okay. And you can kind of just up those wings a little bit to give them a little bit of motion. They will squash in the envelope a little bit, but you can give them a little bit of fluff to them. All right, I'm gonna take this one. You could also try the liquid glue and go all the way down the body so that they will be even less noticeable. Okay. There. I think I'm gonna try folding one and get down to go a little lower. Down here. Okay. So now I'm gonna just kind of put this kind of where I want it. And put that here. There. All right. I think I was inspired to do this card because I have a couple of friends going through some pretty intense struggles right about now. And so I wanted to do something that I could send to them. Plus, you know, sometimes it's nice to let somebody know that it's okay to not be okay, that the struggle will help in the long run. Okay, so there's that one.